Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be going back into the Draemong Starleague round of 16 Group B. And this series is going to be played out between Mind and Jaehoon. Mind is going to be up here at the 11th attack position as the red Terran. The map is going to be on Fighting Spirit, which means down here at the 7th attack position in blue as the Protoss is Jaehoon. Very excited to see this series. I want to see Jaehoon fail miserably. Maybe like recall and only recall the observer. That would be nice. Good old Jaehoon. We don't make fun of him, but he's actually like not that bad of a player, if you consider it. He's just like wacky with what he does, and his epic fails are always the greatest to see. Well, besides that, I'm working on an article right now for Team Liquid that I hope to get out soon. Well, not soon because we have to polish it and everything, but I am working on it, so hopefully that goes well for me. In the meantime, Mind is opting for standard Rax gas, and same with Jaehoon with gate gas. So we're going to see an early game, very, very standard play. Here comes that Cybernex core, and then instantaneously sending 3 probes into gas. Probably going to plop down a second pylon soon. There it is, there's a second pylon. Meanwhile, Mind's going to scout with his SCV, and his barracks is almost up now. 3 guys straight into gas. He's going to scout the wrong direction. Meanwhile, Jaehoon not opting to scout yet, so for all I know, Mind could be in the middle of the map with some ridiculous cheese. But Mind has not. He has opted for leaving 2 guys on gas, actually, which is kind of surprising. Usually you'll see only 1 guy in gas, but we'll see how this plays out. Meanwhile, there is a supply depot being planted next to the barracks, with the factory going up. So we're going to see the standard FD build coming out for Mind. And Jaehoon still opting for scout. It's been very common now in the PvT matchup where the Protoss will actually just go for a Zealot scout instead of a probe scout. Meanwhile, there are 2 Marines out at the entrance of his ramp. So Mind, knowing that there is no probe scout, he probably expects a Zealot coming out first from Jaehoon. This is usually kind of like a tell. It's like, oh, if he doesn't scout with the probe, he's probably going to scout with the Zealot. But no, Jaehoon's just going to opt for a very, very late probe scout, and he's going to see exactly where Mind is going to be first. Does catch a glimpse of those Marines and backs up, knows he can't get in with the probe. And the first Dragoon's out, so actually he did not opt for a Zealot first. Usually that's what happens, they opt for Zealot and use the Zealot for scouting instead of a probe. But instead, he's going for, 2-gate power gun build order. He's got the range spinning, so this could be a very, very strong way to deal with it. Meanwhile, Mind actually gone for a 2-fact Joyo style, I think, starting the second factory at 50%. So that's what happens when you leave 2 guys on gas. Typically, with Terran is when you leave 2 guys on gas, you're gonna opt for that second barracks, second factory really quickly. Meanwhile, continuing to produce those Marines, and he's got an SCV at the top of this ramp, not doing much. He's gonna go ahead and attack the Dragoon. It's probably not what he wants to do. But let's see the double gate, and does see that it is a power gun build order. So we're going to see how well Micro is. I think Micro is going to come down to, obviously, who's going to win this match from. Because these 2 builds are very, very similar to each other. But here comes out the tank with the Vulture out. And we're going to see how well this 2-fact is going to do. He has laid out Minds, and as a matter of fact, he's playing defensively. I think he realized that Power Gun actually deals with this quite well. And, Jaehoon's going to do the little Goo Micro where he's going to try to bait out the Minds. Meanwhile, yeah, he's doing that. We're going to see how good his Micro is. Meanwhile, taking a little bit of fire from the tank, he's going to have to push back a little bit. And another Vulture's out, laying down more Minds. Jaehoon has actually just grabbed a natural at this point, going off of a Power Gun build over. And he's actually going to be able to take an economic advantage if Mind doesn't push out quickly. But he actually does have 2 Zealots, so he might use the Zealots to clear up the Minds and try to drag them into the units of Mind. And if Mind doesn't micro properly, this might be disastrous for him. Here comes the 2 Zealots. Here's the first one. Here come the Minds. Marines pick it up really quickly, and meanwhile the goons are going to try to snipe the Marines. Here comes a big engagement here. The Zealot is out. He's going to try to drag the Marines into the tanks. Oh, kills off one of the tanks. And this is going to actually delay Mine's push a little bit, or actually weaken the power of it. Meanwhile, Mine is still not opting for push yet. Usually he tries to push the 3 tanks, but one of the things did get killed off by that Zealot, and he's still going to opt to push with the 2 tanks. It's a little bit weaker now. 3 tanks is usually the goal number. Meanwhile, Vulture did try to get into the base of Jaehoon, but he's going to reinforce us with pure Vulture now. With I think he's got Vulture speed and mines, and probably researching siege mode back at home. He's only got 1 Marine left actually, and yet there's a siege mode coming out. But 2 Marines at this push is not a good meat shield for all of these goons. Meanwhile, a 3rd gate adding now from Jaehoon in a robo facility, so he's going to try to get Obs out ASAP. But this might be too late if Mine goes for a very, very aggressive push here, but there are a lot of goons. This power goon build has successfully, I think, predicted what Mine was going to do, and he is going to be able to deal with it very accordingly. He sees where the units of Mine is placed, and an SCV is going to come out now. Going to try to probably build a supply depot out front, or maybe even a bunker to try to contain Jaehoon into this base. But the AI pylon is going to do a lot of good work for him, as those tanks and vultures might be delayed in attacking those dragoons. Meanwhile, more vultures are going to be produced. The barracks does not produce any more Marines. This is going to be straight mech. And siege mode is out with those 3 tanks. He's going to leapfrog those tanks. We're going to see how well he's going to be able to do with these good micro. And the vultures are pushing in right now. They're going to press forward with the mines, but Jaehoon's going to micro back very, very well. He loses 1 dragoon so far, but he's just trying to delay time right now for that 3rd gateway to kick in. And meanwhile, trying to get observers, maybe even get a shuttle out for Zealot bombs. But right now, the 3rd Marine is coming. He's going to try to set up a contain. Mines are everywhere right now, and Jaehoon's forces are actually split up into 2 little groups, one in his natural and 1 closer to 3rd base. But meanwhile, the leapfrog tanks are going to continuously leapfrog. He has a observer right now, so he's going to know exactly where the mines are. Here comes the pro pull, and here come the goons. They're going to try to break this push right now. The pros are actually, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do, but meanwhile, there's a lot of goons here. He's lost all the vultures. Big mine drops onto all the tanks. The mine is actually not going to be able to lose. Mine's not going to be able to hold. He loses all the tanks. There are no SCVs to repair the bunker, and Mine knows he's lost. There's great mine drags from Jaehoon, and Mine's 2 factory push is going to fail. And we're going to move into game 2 right now. We're going to see how Mine is going to adapt. Maybe he's going to play a little safer this time. But yeah, great defense by Jaehoon, and we're moving on to set 2.